What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn, and Derek Chisora. Get this. According to Derek Chisora, Dillian Whyte has claimed that Eddie Hearn contaminated my sample. Wow. And we have heard this from Derek Chisora. Now, Derek Chisora has told Dillian Whyte that he is effed, right? We remember, if you guys seen the press conference from yesterday, Seconds Out interviewed Derek Chisora, and Derek Chisora said that he talked to Dillian Whyte and told him that he's effed, okay? Meaning that he won't get the fight because the drug test came back hot, okay? And that's what was supposedly said. Now, if you connect that with the whole David Haye revealing that, hey, Derek already told him that he would fail the drug test, like how would he know that unless something was foul play, okay? But of course, yesterday, when asked of Derek Chisora about what David Haye said, and he commented it, trying to play it off like, oh, he's a businessman, so he wants to sell certain fights, or he wanted to sell this, and he wouldn't really say yay or nay did it happen. He just joked it off like it was one big joke. Okay, let me counterpunch. First of all, just because someone says something in a joking manner doesn't mean it's true, or doesn't mean it's false. Okay? Doesn't mean it's not the truth that he's saying. They could you can I've seen people jokingly tell someone straight up honest truth. Comics do it all the time. They just disguise it in a form of a joke or a comedy or humor, okay? But it doesn't mean they're not saying what they really feel, or something really bad happened that's actual and factual, right? Now, these are very, very high claims, okay? And based on what Dillian Whyte's saying, like, hey, I don't know how else it got there unless it was a stitch-up, okay? Now, as far as 2019, it was supposed to have been the same thing. So there's nothing really new or uncommon about Dillian Whyte blaming it on someone else. Okay, but the only difference was Eddie Hearn and him, I think, worked closer, and they were able to get that fight done and over with before even hearing about any kind of contamination or adverse finding. You know, and another thing, we don't even, to this day, we still don't know what the hell was in his system. You know, so it's kind of hard to believe that, okay, something's in his system that you don't even want to reveal to us, but then yet someone else put it there. You know, by that logic, okay, we have to look at it and throw everything out on the table. By that logic, if it was something that Eddie Hearn was trying to throw a monkey in the wrench and just trying to throw as an obstacle, and let's say it was because AJ is just this lucrative and they don't want to have any type of threat that comes between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, since figuring out Deontay Wilder may not even fight and he may just wait for the fight, they may want it an easier fight for him. So, I mean, it's somewhat, you can kind of see it and entertain it, right? Because Wilder, you know, has an uncertainty of him fighting, so so if he doesn't fight at all and Anthony Joshua has already signed up for a particular bout, why not make that bout a lot easier? You know, so it may go deep as deep. It may be about money all the way through, because why would you risk it fighting someone like Dillian Whyte that has nothing to lose, that has a good punch? Is he a better boxer? Hades? No, he's not. But he knows Anthony Joshua because he was able to chin him a couple times in the amateurs and in the professional fight they had back in 2015. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay? But let me jump across and let me straddle the fence for a minute. Well, if that's the case, people, if Dillian Whyte's saying that, hey, it's Eddie Hearn's fault, he contaminated my sample, that sounds like some Deontay Wilder pre-loss shit. Or better yet, let's look at it like this. If he's claiming that Eddie Hearn spiked his sample, okay, well, that means that he has the capability to do that with other fighters, like Jarrell Miller, right? Because remember, Jarrell Miller was the guy that pissed off Eddie Hearn, that talked shit about Anthony Joshua, about talking about drug rumors that Anthony Joshua was taking drugs and he had proof. Remember that? Then all of a sudden, boom, just like that, Jarrell Miller was pissing hot. Not just one drug, not two drugs, but 3 times a drug. And I'll say this, if that is true, if there's any truth to Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, or Eddie Hearn being capable of spiking some type of drug test from the hands or because of Anthony Joshua, I would say beware, shut your mouth, be a good guy, act like Andy Ruiz, and make the fight happen. Because if he was capable of doing it, well, I'm like Mike Tyson, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. And it's true. There is nothing you can do about that. Again, it seems far-fetched to me hearing it, okay, because I just seen a video on it, okay? And me hearing this makes you think like, okay, Dillian Whyte, me against the world. Why would he test, or why would he take drugs on his last fight? Well, maybe because he has nothing to lose. He's 35 and he may not be able to do what he did back in 2018, 5 years ago. Believe it or not, when he took out Lucas Brown and Joseph Parker, that was 5 years ago when he was a ripe age of 30. And he was the official can man because he was taking everybody out. Okay. So, it's a lot of, you could look at it on both sides. You could look at it, well, hey, he did talk shit about Eddie Hearn. He is a fight-by-fight basis with Eddie Hearn. He's put Eddie Hearn on blast in the latest comments. He's definitely a threat because they did sell tickets. They sold out at O2. He has a new trainer, Buddy McGirt. He looks a lot better, and it is a risky fight for Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua may or may not be, by his own admission, the same type of fighter that he used to be. So maybe it was actually in the favor of Dillian Whyte, and I think maybe the powers that be, we won't say any names, right? Maybe threw that monkey in the wrench because they knew and they thought about what they've actually did. And Anthony Joshua may want to fight, but they know, well, hey, this is not good for Joshua. And on top of that, here's the cherry. Saudi Arabia did not want Anthony Joshua to fight before the Deontay Wilder showdown. These are facts, though. So you can add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm just giving you guys a yay and a nay, a yin and the yang, a reason for rhyme. You guys tell me what you think about Dillian Whyte saying that Eddie Hearn spiked his sample. Of course, please subscribe. And you've been